Thank you, Architect Leonardo, for giving us your time to interview about your company and how your company manages costs in the construction
Okay.
of your project. We have 9 questions for you to answer. For the first question, can you give us a brief info about your experience as a general construction, like the scope of your work or the type of projects that your company usually does, such as for residential or for commercials?
Okay. Actually, because of my first job as the architect for Legend International Hotels, I was able to penetrate the market. When I left them as a consultant, I was able to get some of the projects for renovating the roof because as the consultant for the design, it was already it comes out that it's better that I am managing also the construction phase, so that at least it saves time in getting more consultants. From then on, we ventured into doing general construction. Like for example, we do some projects like small shops in the mall and fit outs for condominium residences and of course doing some hotel projects in the provinces.
For the second question, when you encounter cost overruns or on a project, how do you usually address them?
Before, when we started the company like 7 years back, we always have this problem because we never had some allowance in terms of the quotation that we give to our client. Moreover, before, we are not that confident in bidding for projects. Meaning before we felt that the best way to get a project is to offer a lower bid proposal. However, after some years of experience, some minimal bleeds, I would say, we tend to be confident on whatever quotation that we give to our clients. So right now, it's very minimal that we have overruns. But if in case there will be some overruns, it will be covered by the allowance that we put on the bidding proposal that we submitted to the client.
Fine.
For the third question, unexpected expenses or changes in project scope are inevitable and it affects the budget. How do you adjust accordingly?
Actually, when there will be an adjustment, the first thing that you have to do is to educate your client why there will be an adjustment. How will the client benefit from such change? And of course, part of the education is making her realize how much will be the cost of that adjustment. If you don't come into agreement, then I would say it's time for you to back out from the project. It's the best thing to do. Then to pursue it, and then if she doesn't have a full knowledge about the project changes or adjustment, then it will be impossible for you to ask for her to cover the charges.
For the fourth question, on your previous or current project, can you share a cost-saving measure or technique you have implemented to minimize expenses?
Actually, I'm going to share with you the project that we're having right now. It's a low-cost project somewhere in Cavite. And this one is actually a project of my contracting partner. And they asked me to design it and to be part of the project. Okay. What we did when it comes to low-cost, actually, as per my experience, the more low-cost the project is, the more there will be more problem. And it's tougher to work with people who are working within a budget.
Minimum budget.
So what we do is this. At the onset of the initial meeting, we educate them about the scope of the project and why such component of the project would cost that much. Then if we don't come into agreement, I will never pursue any project that's more likely to have some risk. Like in that project, it may be low cost, but the client understands the extent of how much she is paying and what will be the look. And we tried a lot of efforts to explain to her what is the expectation. Because you know what's important about construction is this. The client and you have the same level of expectation. Because if their expectation is beyond what you're going to deliver, then they will feel that they are cheated. in terms of cost in construction.
For the next question, personally, what tools or software do you utilize for project costing and financial management that you find most efficient?
Actually, well, I'm already old in the business now, but we have this already, like a matrix where we just have to input. It's not actually a system, but it's more on an Excel sheet that we felt we have been very effective with us. We are not yet into the Revit and all this Rhino system of computation, but we're still doing the classic one. Spreadsheet using Excel, and so far it works for us. So I don't think that there's a need for us to fix that.
47 question. 6. Can you share your ways in negotiating prices and contracts with vendors, subcontractors?
One thing that I think it made us easy to negotiate is that we already have a various experience in the market. Having more than 5 years of experience in the market gives you that validity that you can deliver the project. And because people have more confidence in people who are experienced. So, and they also value that there's no need for negotiation. Especially if you are doing, if you have a reputation of doing quality projects. So, I believe one of the strengths of our company is our reputation. That reasonably people find our quotation what meets their budget, and we deliver what is equated for such kind of budget.
47th question. How do you communicate to ensure that your project costing aligns with the client's budget?
The problem with the client is this. Clients are not as visual as architects. So, as much as possible, we give them an overall picture on how far their budget would go. And show them what's the pros and cons of every component of the construction, so that at least they will be aware on the possible adjustment in the future, or maybe that we will deliver to them what is like a standard type of standard quality of finishing, so they will be aware of how far their money would go.
For the last question, in terms of profitability of the project, what are your consideration when foreseeing the return of investment?
Consideration would be, first and foremost, when we handle a project, we always have this objective of keeping up that reputation that we have. And for us, as long as we pocketed at least 35% as a profit, a margin, covering all our labor costs, I believe we are earning something. But one of the secret that we do is that I compensate myself. Being the owner of the company, aside from the profit that we're gonna gain, I am compensating myself, being a supervisor in the site, being the designing architect of the project. It's aside from the profit that the company would get. Because I should consider myself as part of the staff.
Thank you, Architect Leonardo, for giving us your time.
Pleasure also.
That's all. Thank you.